Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Walking with Pete for the night, or for today, for this week, whenever it is that you're listening. I thought I would make another episode quickly because I was listening to the French podcast Français, Authentique by Johan as I was walking around the park and getting a bit of exercise tonight. And I thought I would mention and give a shout out to Johan and his podcast for helping me so much with my French, as I've listened to his podcast for probably the better part of a year, so more than a year. And it has really, really helped me with my French. And not just my French, but helping me with my day-to-day life and being less stressed, being able to deal with stress in a better manner, as well as just making the most of my time. So if you don't know, and if you're not learning French, I'll give you a bit of background. Johan has a podcast called Français Authentique, where he teaches authentic French, as Français Authentique means in French. And he teaches you expressions. He gives you a lot of insight into his life. So I really enjoy the podcast from that aspect. And two, he talks about how to stress less, how to get the most out of your day with regards to time and have a healthy life, do exercise. He's got a blog called Pas de stress, which is don't stress, effectively, or no stress. And as well, it's a podcast as well as Français Authentique. And Français Authentique was actually the reason that I started Aussie English. So I kind of based the framework of Aussie English off of what Johan does with Français Authentique, because firstly, I absolutely love how he has it set up. So I think we often say in English the mimicry, or to copy someone, is the ultimate form of flattery. I don't know how this wind is going to be out here. It's pretty windy. What else did I want to say? I might sit down and see if I can get out of the wind. And I guess I had a lot of friends in Australia. So last year when I first started listening to Français Authentique, I was doing a lot of French and learning a few other languages on the side as well, getting the basics down for Portuguese at the same time. And I had a lot of friends who I would help learn English in exchange for help learning French and a little bit of Portuguese. And they would often tell me how difficult it was learning English, particularly in Australia. And then I would always tell them about this podcast, Français Authentique by Johan, and how good it was, and that it was such a sort of organic way of learning the language, where you get to just hear someone talk and chat as if you were there with them, as if you were next to me, chatting to me like a friend. And I did a big search trying to find the kind of equivalent for English learners, whether it was in English or American English, and I couldn't find anything. And on top of that, I had these same friends, especially the ones that obviously lived in Melbourne and in Australia, that I would see on a regular basis. They would tell me how difficult it was to learn Australian English in particular. So not only was there no real podcast like Johan's for learning the more common dialects of English, I guess, like English and American English, but there was absolutely nothing for Australian English. And so this was one of the biggest, or these were some of the biggest reasons for starting Aussie English, to try and help you guys get your head around and improve your spoken English, whether it was specifically the English dialect spoken in Australia and you wanted to copy my accent to some degree, or if it was just that you wanted some kind of material similar to the way that Français Authentique is set out for learning English. And so that's why I guess I wanted to do this quick episode. I was listening to Français Authentique as I was walking around the park tonight. I like to kill two birds with one stone, so I get two things done in the same amount of time. So I do that each day. I listen to Français Authentique as well as a few Brazilian Portuguese podcasts pretty much any time I'm walking. But that's why I thought of it. And that's why I thought I would make this quick second episode of Walking with Pete, just as a shout out, as a special mention to Johan. I've listened to his podcast for a very long time, if you're learning French, I absolutely thoroughly recommend it. It's probably for intermediate to advanced learners of French, but he has transcripts up. I'll link you below to the Français Authentique website so that you can check it out. He has tons of YouTube videos, all sorts of things. It's a really, really good, organic, fun way to improve your French. So if you go and check it out, I'd absolutely love for you to get back to me and let me know what you think. And definitely say hello to Johan if you go over there to his Facebook page. And yeah, get involved in the community of Français Authentique. It's awesome. So that's probably enough for today, guys. I think I've bombarded you with quite a bit of Aussie English recently. So I might finish the episode here and hopefully chat to you guys soon. Have a good night.